welcome to Sunday Stamping with Susan and Julie. It's Julie Davison and Susan LaCroix, and we're so excited that you're joining us for this week's episode. If you're brand new to our channels, welcome! Sunday Stamping is our weekly video series where we get together and share stamping projects using the same items. Susan, it's so hard for me to call you Susan. Mom and I have been demonstrators for 21 years. We live a couple states away, and so we don't get to stamp in person very often. And this is the next best thing. So we hope that you enjoy stamping with us or sharing with us every week. Next week, we get to stamp together. We're excited about that. So we'll talk more about that stamp along at the end of the video. But it is Sunday, April 23rd when this video airs. We are pre-recording to try to catch up and get ready for a very busy travel in May. Mom's gonna go on the Norway incentive trip. I'm staying home this year, but I'm so excited that you're going, Mom, and I can't wait to hear all about it. And you're going early, right? And going to explore London. And where else are you going in England?
Well, actually, we're not going into London this trip. We are,
Okay.
Heathrow is outside of London, and we're going to rent a car. Well, we've rented a car, and we're going to drive up to Coventry to visit our friend that lives up there. We're going to spend a couple nights there. That's the town where Lady Godiva is from, and apparently there's a big statue there in Warwick Castle. So Yvonne's been there. And stayed with Deb, but we've got a hotel for a couple nights. And then we're going to drive south into the Cotswolds area. It's an area that we haven't been to, but it's known, I guess, for its wool district. It's quite a large area, and there's lots of little villages and towns in the Cotswolds. So we just wanted to explore that. We actually we have an Airbnb that is called Tiddlywink.
Oh, how cute.
And it's a real cute looking cottage there. And it's also fairly close to Bath and Stonehenge. And while Dad and I were there 20 plus years ago, Yvonne has never been. So we're going to take a day and go into Bath and then down to Stonehenge or vice versa. I'm not sure. I'd have to look at a map. And then eventually we will, well, not eventually, we will return the car to Heathrow Airport and then get the shuttle just down to Southampton to the port where we will get on the ship to go to Norway.
Oh, that sounds like so much fun. I wish that I was going with you.
I wish you were too, babe. But yes, I know we'll be thinking about you and we'll try to, take pictures and send them. I've not been as good about sending pictures the last couple trips, so I need to make sure. I know your sister will keep us on ball. She will be.
Yeah.
So I'm not worried about that. So other than that, this week, Dad and I celebrated our 49th wedding anniversary.
That's right. Happy anniversary.
Thank you. And it's baseball season again. Our Tigers are back. They're not doing so well right now.
Oh.
Yeah, we have to kind of get them going, get those bats going.
It's still early. It's still early.
It is very, very early. So other than that, we've had in preparation for all of our trips, as we get older, we have a lot of doctor's appointments. So it's physical and getting our eyes checked and getting hearing tests and taking care of the girls. Well, actually, that does happen before we go. Okay, it doesn't matter. Anyway, we're busy. We're very, very busy. So how about you in the gym and the kids? I know this is.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same, always busy. Got my taxes done since our last video. I know it's always such a relief. And it never takes me as long as I think it will, but I just put it off because it's like a big, like a big thing. And so I just delay it too long. And so until the last minute, but now it's done. So just getting ready for that new catalog, working on some swaps, and got the catalogs all in the mail to everybody. So if you're expecting a catalog from me, you should be getting it soon if you haven't gotten it yet. And that's going to start in just like another week, a little over a week. May Tuesday, is it Tuesday, Wednesday, May 2nd, whenever May 2nd is.
I think it's Tuesday. Yeah.
So we're not quite into new catalog stuff. Although
Mm.
next week and then beyond, we've got lots of new stuff to share with you. But today we're focusing on not last chance stuff, but just sort of like a middle ground thing. So let's flip the camera around, Mom, and you can
All right.
share the products that we're featuring in this week's video.
I'd be happy to. Okay, so we have talked about the online exclusives before. So I just want to kind of give you a reminder. These can only be seen through our store on the demonstrator website. So they won't be in any publication. So just very quickly, you can go to all right, I know the website was on here somewhere. But if you go to
It's
the online store and just
in the middle of that picture right there above like the iPad or the tablet.
oh, here it is.
Yeah.
Thank you, Julie. Stampinup.com/online hyphen exclusives. So that is the website to see everything that's on there. So I'm going to flip this over just to give you a little reminder of some of the things that are available. The Irresistible Blooms bundle and paper and the frosted dots. Are they back in stock, Julie?
I'm I'm actually not sure. I haven't checked, but if they're not back in stock, they should be back soon.
Soon, yeah. As well as that gilded paper. I know we showed that in the pack of 3D embossing folders and the classic
Yes.
alphabet stamp set. And then what Stampin' Up! Has done is they have added some things that they didn't retire. This is from the annual catalog that's being moved to online exclusives. So very quickly, designer tags dies, mini pocket envelope dies, the Nested Friends Cling stamp set, the Queen Bee Cling stamp set, the Nested Friends dies, Warm Welcome photopolymer stamp set, the dry brushed metallic specialty designer series paper, which is from the oh gosh,
Delicate Desert Suite.
Delicate Desert Suite. Yep. So I'm glad that that's sticking around. And then some of the accessories to go along with our die cutting and embossing. The base plate and die plate pack, mini base plate and embossing plates pack, and that beautiful glittered organdy ribbon. That is
Yeah.
also sticking around, but it will be on there. And then the silver foil specialty pack.
So
those
these,
are things.
oh,
Yes,
sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, right now on this when this video is airing on April 23rd, these items are not in the online exclusive category yet, but they are things that are going to carry over from the catalogs that are retiring, and these things will continue to be available in the online exclusive category. So we're gonna see some new products released 3 times a year in March, July, and November. But then we're also going to see additions to the online exclusive when we have catalogs retiring. So these things are just like maybe there's extra inventory, or like the $1,000,000 stamp sets, the Million Sales Achiever stamp sets will carry over if they're from a mini catalog. What I've heard is the Million Achiever stamp sets will carry over in the online exclusives for at least a year.
Oh, good.
So that otherwise some of these stamp sets are only available for like 4 months in a mini catalog. And so moving forward, those Million Sales Achiever stamp sets will move into online exclusives for a while to just have some continued availability. So that's kind of the idea, and that's why some of these items are going to carry over. So some of it is based on inventory, like if they just have a lot. I think that's the case with like the dry brushed metallic paper. Some of it is just a matter of making room in the catalog. And I want to make a quick note about the mini base plate and the base plate and die plate pack, because I think there was a little confusion. Those items are the base, like the heavy bigger base that comes with the die cutting machine. And for the most part, you don't need a replacement set of those unless something has happened to damage the set that you have. And so I think they're moving it into the online exclusives just as a way to avoid confusion in the catalog, because I think there are probably more people that order it accidentally than that order it and want to order it, because it does come in that package with the initial machine. So most people don't need to have the base plate. They don't need a replacement of that.
And
So
I've had
I
to
know some,
explain that to customers who purchase
yeah,
it because they were confused by that too.
yeah.
So
So
yes.
this is
Okay.
still available if you need it, but you
Yes,
probably won't need a replacement of
probably not.
those.
Okay. So now what are we doing today? Bam! Tropical leaf. I love this little bundle. It is a photopolymer stamp set. There's a set of 9. So you get 2 sizes of leaves and the veins and the stems, and then some sentiments with this fun font. And the part of the bundle that I like too is the punch. So this punches out the large leaf. So if you want the small leaf, you'll have to fussy cut that. So that's what we're using today. And Julie is going to go first. So are you ready?
I am ready. Yeah.
All
So
right.
I made up a little flyer. I just want to show you really quick some of the other items. Now, the best place to see the availability is to go into the online store. That's stampinup.com/online exclusives. Some of these things we saw in the flyer, but then I just wanted to kind of give you a brief look at some other things that are in the online store, like the circle punches, the radiating stitches dies, and then the one we're using today, the tropical leaf bundle, the elegant border dies. And these are the availability on these. I'm not really sure. Originally they were saying, oh, if it's really popular, we're gonna restock it. And so it might sell out for a little while, but it'll come back. And that's the case with like the loose frosted dots and the radiating stitches dies and the basics 3D embossing folders. Those all kind of sold out and are coming back. But one thing that has sold out that seems to have just disappeared is the Rhino Ready dies. So I'm not really sure if they're coming back. It doesn't seem like they are. The stamp set is still available. But the idea with the online exclusives is that it's just kind of be a differing amount of time for each thing, just kind of depending on how popular they are. And really popular things will get reordered and brought back. Today I'm going to use the stamp set as well as the basics 3D embossing folders. These are the 3 folders that come in the package. There's the raised dots and the stars or flowers, and my very favorite is this crosshatch. So I've used a little piece of that crosshatch and embossed it on white cardstock. And I'm using the new 2 3/8 inch circle punch. This is a bigger one than what is available in the online exclusives, but this is coming in the new annual catalog, and I'm just so excited to have my circle punches back. I'm going to start with some stamping. So the colors I'm using for the card today are Granny Apple Green and Shaded Spruce. And you know what? Before I do the stamping, I do need to do some cutting. I forgot my post-it notes. I'm sorry, but we'll have the measurements in the video description for you. The card base is 4 1/4 by 11 inches. And I'm going to use my paper cutter and I'm going to score at 5 1/2 inches. So this is just a half a sheet of cardstock, like we would normally do a top fold card. I'm going to cut the card front in half. So I'm going to line up at 2 3/4 and cut. So I have a card with a front flap and then another piece. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that piece and turn it this way to add another layer. So this is just kind of a quick way to to use your card base. And I wouldn't necessarily call it like a fun fold, but just kind of a different way to quickly and easily do some layering. Okay, now we're ready to stamp because I do want to stamp on this piece. That's why I wanted to cut it first. So Granny Apple Green and Shaded Spruce. I think these colors layer really nicely together. And I'm going to do those stems on the left side. So dark, look at that. And then I have a scrap of white to do my stamping, and I'm going to do 2 of the leaves. in Granny Apple Green. I'm lazy. I'm not going to cut the smaller leaf, but I did get it out to stamp on the inside. And then this image has a vein that is really easy to layer on for two-step stamping. So super quick, super easy. I feel like this is going to be a short video because this is an easy stamp set to use. And you could do some fun techniques with the solid stamp and do like some shading. One of the images in the online store, grabbing a piece of cardstock, has a fun sample where they inked it in the lighter color and then kind of just put it in the darker color like that to have like a just like a line. I thought that was kind of interesting. Not using it on my card this time, but just you can kind of do some fun inking with this one. Our sentiment is going to go on a piece of Granny Apple Green cardstock that's 1 inch by 3.5. And I'm using the Love You Lots sentiment. And so now we're just going to do some punching and some gluing. So let's start with the punching. I'm using that coordinating punch to punch the leaves. Oh my gosh, I just love punch bundles.
It's especially great if someone, if you're not ready to dip your toe into the embossing machine, if this is a great thing to have punch bundles. I love them too. I just, yeah, I was excited when I saw this.
This is kind of a really good card for beginners because it is kind of straightforward. I am adding, some of those like the embossing folder and the designer paper, but I feel like you could just do some stamping or use solid cardstock instead. Oh no. I transferred. Do you
Oh
see?
no.
It's like a hairline of ink from that stem. I hate when that happens. That actually is working pretty well. Do you have a sand eraser?
I do. I actually have a couple of them.
Oh my gosh, is it on my finger? I'm making more. It is on my finger.
Oh, that happens to me a lot.
Oh my gosh.
My hands are all covered in ink today.
Where is my sanitizer? Oh my gosh, Mom. Oh, such a mess. I have some baby wipes, but I think they're all dried out. Oh, okay.
It'll be okay, Jules.
I know. I'm licking the baby wipe. Okay, it's gonna be fine. Hopefully, I won't transfer any more ink. Let's get this card done. So we've got that front piece where I stamped the stems, and I really was kind of struggling knowing whether or not these leaves were supposed to like be up or down. And so I decided to make them go down, I guess, like they're coming off the stem. I don't know which way is right or which way is wrong. And then I'm going to have the sentiment kind of overlap with some Stampin' Dimensionals. So let's get those out next. I feel like this is such a quick card, but
It's okay.
this is also how I stamp. Like, I just love quick and easy cards. So we've got some texture on there. We've got the stamping and the punching. And I forgot to tell you, the designer paper is 2.5 inches by 4 inches. And it's from that big Post paper pack from the mini catalog. This one here that has the bright colors. I just really loved the combination of the Granny Apple and the shaded spruce. And so I kind of pulled the colors. The inspiration was from that paper pack. Okay, so this is going to go on. I'm just going to add some regular adhesive. I debated about whether or not to do Stampin' Dimensionals, but I already have them on the sentiment. So there is the card.
That's so sweet. I love that layout. I haven't done it in a while. Yeah, it's nice.
I think I need some bling though, huh?
Oh, of course. You always can use bling, babe.
How about your very favorite iridescent rhinestones?
Ta-da!
I've sort of been using them, I feel like almost every week, and you've been switching to something else. So I've taken over the iridescent
Well,
rhinestones.
not today because I'm using them as well.
Are you?
Yes. Well, I've been going through and trying to pull, to replace things that are retiring to get them off my shelf and in my bins and stuff. And so I realized that I have very few embellishments left.
Oh, really? That's the one thing I haven't done yet. I always save my embellishment box for last, so I haven't gone through all of those yet. I've got one more sample to show you. I use the same color, same paper pack here, and then that is textured with the same embossing folder, so they kind of match. Love you lots. Hello. I really have enjoyed using this tropical leaf bundle. I think it's so great for quick cards, and I can't wait to see what you've created. Are you ready to share, Mom?
I am ready to share. I have kind of a hot mess over here, but we'll go through them. So I have a lot of cardstock here. So our card base, I'm using soft seafoam and garden green is my greens. So the card base is soft seafoam, our traditional 8.5 by 5.5 scored at 4 1/4. And then I have another piece of white. Okay, so basic white, 5 1/4 by 4 inches. And then I have another piece of soft seafoam, 5 inches by 3 3/4. Now I also have a little greeting, 1 inch by 1.5 inch, and I'm going to mat that on this little piece of designer series paper, which is 1 1/4 by 1 3/4. And the designer series paper is from the Hello Irresistible. So this is
Oh, I
going
love
to
that
be,
paper.
yeah. So it's got this, great soft seafoam. So I just wanted a little something, something. So this piece is 5 1/4 by 4, and then I have a 4 inch by 3/4 inch strip that I had trimmed off, and then a basic white of 4 3/4 by 3.5. So a little bit smaller than normal. So what I want to do right now, I think, is just let's get the inside taken care of, and then we can move on to the outside. So I want some, I almost called it nail, it's seal. So let me start with this piece. I'm going to, as long as I'm in camera. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on here. And I've got too much. I'm going to turn off a little bit. By the way, the inspiration for this card came from another demonstrator who lives down in Florida. And I don't remember her last name, but her first name is Latasha. And I just, I've changed it up, obviously, from what she did. But I just thought this was a kind of a fun little card. All right, so I'm going to put this piece now on here. So you have a little bit of the DSP kind of peeking out from the white insert when you write your note or sign it or however you want to do that. So this will be the inside of our card. So I decided not to do any stamping. I just wanted to do that piece of it. So I'm going to set that aside for right now. And now we're going to work on our leaves. So I am I'm using the big one, and I need a mat here. Scrap. So I'm going to start with the garden green. And I'm going to stamp off once, and I'm stamping them on the soft seafoam. So I'm going to load this up with some garden green ink, stamp off once, and then stamp it on our soft seafoam. And then I'm going to grab a baby wipe and clean it.
Do you have to lick your baby wipes too?
Nope. I do not, but they're pretty wet, actually, almost too wet. So I'm going to dry it a little bit on my sleeve. All right, so now I'm going to stamp a couple of these larger leaves in seafoam, on seafoam. And like you, I kind of struggled with the direction I was going to put my leaves in. I did it going up. Okay, so we're done with that guy. I'm going to use some garden green for my veins. It was so tempting to not pull out some of our new colors. But I decided to be a good girl.
I thought of that too. I almost did.
All right. Let me punch these girls out. Girls, I'm thinking, are these male or female?
I don't know either. I mean, if we get into like the biology of it, like flowers have the,
Yeah,
well, no, flowers have both.
yes, they do. Okay, I think I'm done with this. While I have my ink out, there's a couple more things we have to stamp. I'm going to stamp hello in garden green on this little piece. That will get adhered to that. And then I want to take our soft seafoam piece and stamp our stems in garden green. I'm going to close this up because I think we're done with the seafoam, and I have ink accidents frequently, so I don't want to have any more. All right. So I'm going to put this kind of in the middle here. And I don't want this down up too high. Let's try that. Okay. All right. Now we're done with this. You see this little divot there on my ink
What
pad?
happened?
I was trying to close it and I was in a hurry. My nail slid across it.
Oh no.
Yep. I was waiting to see if it was going to retire before I decided to replace it. All right. Now we have the rest of our pieces. And I'm going to go ahead and put this on here. Oh no, I got to do something else first. I forgot about that. This is, I love this little, the way that she used this twine. So it's she used something else, but I'm using the Baker's Twine Essential Packs because it has some great neutral colors. So I just pulled out the white and that's what we're going to use. And what I want to do is take a little bit of tear and tape and flip it over. Just about down here, I think. You need something to kind of hold this down, and we're going to wrap it around our card 3 times. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it kind of close together at one end and further apart at the other end. And then I want another little piece of tear and tape. Let's make sure I did this right. Yeah, okay. Yeah, probably could have been a little bit bigger. We'll make this work. Okay. All right. Isn't that fun?
Come back up. Yeah, there you go. We can see a
Isn't
little
that
better.
fun?
I do love that.
Let me trim this. And then I'm going to tie a knot. I was thinking about a bow, but when I did my sample, I didn't cut a big enough piece to. this. So I'm gonna try a bow this time. So I'm gonna cut a little bit bigger piece of twine. Put it through here. I mean, just the little knot looks okay too, but I want to see what it looks like with a bow.
I love this kind of faux bow look. Like it looks like it's tied all the way around, but you added the bow afterwards and it just sort of looks like it's part of the bigger piece.
Yeah, it does. Okay. Cut our tails. All right. So now we can adhere this to our piece of basic white. I probably should have used liquid glue for this because I want to really make sure. Well, yeah.
I was just thinking I would have used Stampin' Dimensionals because of the twine.
Oh, yeah, I could have done that too. All right. And we're going to layer this up here. And then we're going to go ahead and put this on our card base. I mean, this is a pretty easy, quick and easy card as well. Okay. Then while we're doing this, let's go ahead and put our inside piece on. All right. Now let's put our leaves on, and I'm going to grab some dimensionals. Put them on here. There's 3 on each one. Should be enough. Okay. So I want to put my garden green leaf in the center one. And then one of these I'm going to angle to the left and the other one to the right. So I'm going to kind of tuck this one. Oh, maybe I should. Well, no, I guess it's going over it. I don't know that it matters much.
No.
And that's what we're going to have coming off here. And then let's get our greeting on our mat piece. Whoop. And then we'll put dimensionals on this. I feel like I have dimensional backings all over me here. They follow me around the house, I swear to God.
Oh, absolutely they do.
I remember Ruben, so a lot of times I'd find him and there'd be one on the end of his nose.
Yeah.
All right, so here is this, but again, it needs some bling. So of course, that's what I'm using. And let's see, I'm gonna put one up here. I may not keep it there. And then maybe one down here. And maybe one down here. Yeah. Okay.
Looks good. I love that light green. It's so pretty.
That's it. So again, this is another fairly simple card using this bundle. Simple stamping with a punch. And you don't need to use designer series paper if you don't have any, but I just thought just to give it a little interest. So that is my card. So we did a card at our team meeting, and also I used this for Hostess Club too. And so I used early, I'm doing it again, evening evergreen and soft succulent.
Oh, that's
Oh,
pretty.
or no, is this mackerel?
It look oh,
Oh,
I think it looks like soft succulent.
yeah, I think it is. And then I use some of the in color gems that are retiring. This ribbon is sticking
Mm.
around, of course. And the little, oh, I used hello again. How about that? And so we did some sponging. We kind of stamped off and then just took a dauber and we just kind of added a little more color
So
there.
you would do that to the big stamp before stamping. You added the color to the directly to the stamp.
I actually did it on the stamped image because I thought of it after I got that one stamped. I thought, oh, it needs a little sponging. And then the inside here, I just threw a couple of the little ones in there.
Nice.
So those are the cards that I have made with this so far.
Nice. Well, let's flip the camera around and we'll show off our cards together. You know what? I wasn't gonna get this tropical leaf bundle, but I changed my mind. Mostly because I'm just a sucker for punch bundles and they're usually inexpensive and I kind of like the sentiments on this one. And so, yeah, I hope
You
that we
know,
inspired you with our project today and that you'll consider the tropical leaf bundle too.
yeah, I know we've had tropical leaves in the past and similar, and I kind of shy away from those, but there was just something about it. Maybe it was the font of the greetings,
Mm.
maybe the fact that it had a punch. I don't know. I was just really drawn to it. So just once more, Latasha, if you're watching, thank you. I love your card.
For me, I think it was definitely the punch, just the ease of use of it.
Very
Well,
easy.
I'm excited about next week's episode. It'll be Sunday, April 30th.
Yeah.
And next week's episode is episode 100.
Woohoo! Yes, it is. And I'm so excited. I can't believe it, Julie.
I know.
100.
It's
Wow.
crazy to think that we've done this almost 100 times.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
And
That's a
we're
lot of
coming up to
videos.
our 2-year anniversary of doing
Oh
them
my
too.
gosh. It'll
You
be
know?
2 years in June.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's coming right up. Wow.
Oh my gosh, so much fun. Well, we are going to do a stamp along episode to
Yeah.
celebrate episode number 100. And if you've been watching for a while, you know, we do these like every other month or so. And so we provide measurements ahead of time for you. And we invite you to prepare your own supplies at home and then to stamp along with us. And so next week episode, we'll each be stamping at the same time. But I think that we've determined, based on your feedback, that we'll just have one person highlighted at a time and then we'll share. And so you can follow right along. This is not mystery stamping, so you can just be crafting right along with us. And then we'll share our projects and we invite you to share your project with us in our Facebook group so we can see what you've made. So we are going to flip the camera around now so that you guys can see those measurements. We're also going to have them in the video description, but I know sometimes the video description can be hard to find. So we just wanted to kind of highlight it on screen for you. And so these are the measurements for next week's episode on Sunday, April 30th. If you want to join us live at noon Central Time, 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time.
Yes.
Is there anything else you want to say before we flip the camera, Mom?
Not that I can think of at the moment.
Oh, we're going to use new stuff.
Oh, yes.
We will be using brand new items from the new catalog. So you'll get a sneak peek at some of the things that are coming. And it'll be at that point just
Finally.
a few days before the
Finally.
new
Finally.
before the new catalog starts. So we're really super excited about that. I can't wait. I've been thinking about which one I'm going
I
to
know.
use for my
I'm
project.
down. I've narrowed it down to one of two.
We ordered too much stuff, so we have we have more choices than probably we should, but that means fun stuff for you guys.
Yeah.
Well, we're not going to come back on the faces. We'll end with our measurements, so you guys can pause and take a look at that. So let's say goodbye now before we
All
flip the
right.
cameras around. And
So yes, and so until next Sunday stamping with Susan and Julie, number 100. Have a wonderful week.
bye, everybody.
Bye.
All right, let's spotlight these. We're going to do mom's measurements and my measurements. So here you go, Mom. Let's hold them up just a little bit so that they're closer to the camera. There. So I'm not going to talk through them. If you're watching at the end, you can just pause right here and jot them down. Or like
Yes.
I said, we will have them in the video description if you want to just copy and paste or look at them already recorded there. All right, see you next time.
Bye.